Let me ask you a question. Do you believe that you're creative? Now, it's such a cheesy subject matter. In fact, when we talk about creativity, we immediately go back to our kindergarten days. But the truth is, when we have the conversation about creativity, there's a lot of people who just believe, no, I'm not. That like was left in the dust a long time ago. And there are those who are creative and those who are not. And a lot of people just don't believe that, especially people who work in full-time ministry, either in nonprofit or in the local church. They just don't believe they're creative. In fact, I met somebody one time who said, yeah, I know everybody's creative. And I looked at them and I said, but you don't believe that. I want to tell you why the answer to that question should be yes. Hey, my name's Johnny Mack. I'm the founder of Unlock Conference, a one-day event across multiple locations designed to bring biblical creativity to every ministry leader in the local church and nonprofit. I was in full-time ministry for 25 years, and I do creative work. What is creative work? I solve problems, I design ideas, and I help people discover how they could bring their ideas to life. You see, I'm passionate about something called biblical creativity. Let me explain. Biblical creativity matters. When we say things like, I'm just not that creative, when we move creativity into a bucket for simply people who do work that we call creative, art, music, movies, film, design, even architecture, all those things, right? When we move creativity into a bucket and we say that is what creativity is, we're right. But where we're wrong is that creativity can't just exist in that bucket. Those are a specific set of creative skills. You see, biblical creativity goes all the way back to the beginning in the book of Genesis when God said, let us, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, let us make mankind in our own image. You've read that before. And if you haven't, here's what it means. You are an image bearer of a creative. You literally are reflecting all of the things that he put in that image. We're all image bearers walking around, mirrors, reflecting God to everybody. And what shouldn't be left off that list is creativity. We see this in Genesis chapter 2. He gives Adam the chance to work the garden, something God created. And then he hands it over and says, hey, you work this now. He even gets the chance to name the animals. Boy, would I have loved to have been at that brainstorm. How to name all the things that we see now, the rhino, the horses. I don't know how he named all of them, but he did. I mean, that's a lot of trust to put in a human, like name the animals, right? Biblical creativity doesn't stop there. You see, biblical creativity means not only are we image bearers who've been given the right to create, to build, to make, but we've also been given the power to do so. One of the deep dives that you can do is in Exodus chapter 35, and it gives a list of all of the people involved in making the tabernacle, and it keeps repeating this one thing over and over. Towards the end of the chapter, you see this. It says, and he filled them. See, when his breath came into our being, the Holy Spirit breathed us in life. When that happened, the Spirit of God breathed life in us. We've been filled for a purpose. In that moment, they were filled with the skills they needed to build the tabernacle, but we see that all throughout the Bible is that he fills his creation, his image bearers, with his Spirit so that they can accomplish the building process, the creative process, whatever process is in front of them. They get to make and build and imagine all for his glory. You've been filled so that you can create. Biblical creativity says everyone in God's kingdom is a creative because we have roots in the Creator. You see, our image is his image. And while we like to include lots of things in being an image bearer, and while we are flawed and imperfect and messy, biblical creativity means we have to stop delegating creativity to someone else and start embracing what creativity means for us. See, whether you're an accountant or whether you're a designer, whether you do Uber Eats or whether you work at a church, whether you've launched a nonprofit that helps food insecurity, or your nonprofit is overseas helping global missions. Whether you're an administrative assistant or you're preaching the gospel on a Sunday, everyone is a creative. And biblical creativity means that. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you stay tuned. Check out one of our Unlock conferences live and in person. Our next one's coming up very soon. Go to unlockconference.com so you can see where that's happening. And I'd love to see you in person and meet you as a biblical creative.